Welcome to the Buccaneers Observer. Ralph Phillips here. Man, we got a heated one tonight. Apparently, our draft gurus are going at it over some prospects, so that should be interesting. This is the last day before the draft, so we are going to try and cover whatever we can left to cover. I have some stuff I'm going to add at the end of the show, or after the draft gurus get finished. I have my own takes. You know, I don't really want to take up their time, so I'm not going to run my mouth a whole lot. But yeah, let's get it going, man. You know, I got to get all this stuff working right. Got to get a better system down. It's kind of hard to do it all. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Everybody get in here and get ready. Big questions, man. I'm really torn about what the Bucs are going to do. I know what I want them to do now. I have a player. You know, I do this every year where I pick a guy that I'm like, this is who I want him to get. Let me see, the year before last, I picked Cody Mock. I got him. Was not happy with it. That first year, that was rough. That was rough. He was bad his first year, man. And I've done it for the past few years. I can't really remember who it was I did the year before that. Last year I wanted Storm Duck. I think it was last year. I think I wanted Storm Duck last year. I can't remember. I need to write these down. But I've got a guy. So I will share all that with you, but probably after the draft gurus are finished here. I'm waiting for them to get on. Oh, here's one. I'm waiting for them to get on. Oh, here's one.
Would you like me to go ahead and share screen now, or are we going to wait a little bit?
Hold on one second. Let me get up. Tom's in the room now. I heard some echoing going on. Was that you, Rampage?
The echo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Should be taken care of now.
Okay. What's up, guys?
How's it going?
How's it going, man? Tom, what happened?
First thing I want to say is awesome caricatures of us. I thought that was really nice.
Hey, you like that? That's artificial intelligence. Hey, look at Rampage's hand. It's like backwards and has like an extra thumb or something.
AI can't do hands.
Well, it's getting better. It's getting better. But yeah, that hand, I didn't have time to fix it up. So, but yeah, I thought it did a pretty good job.
It did great.
You know, Mitch is saying he wants the first round positions are to be linebacker, safety, cornerback, defensive tackle to shock fans, and maybe a wide receiver in the first round. Molly, hey. So, Tom, you look very white. You're like whited out. The whole, it's like an angel.
So I have a few options.
My first round pick.
Burn. Gotcha.
Can't really see it, can you?
Yeah. Troyer. Vern Troyer, right? Yeah. He's going to be gone, man. He might go number one. Tennessee's going to take him.
All right, I'll throw on this shirt since I'm whiting you out.
So what are we wanting to do tonight? Are we wanting to do a mock draft or wanting to do a film breakdown? Tom and I have watched film on Mike Green, and we have a pretty massive disagreement on what the film looks like. So we could either watch him or we could do more generic stuff, do some mock drafts.
Hey, I leave it up to y'all. I just want to see a good fight. That's all. Good, fair fight. Yeah, actually, I don't even care if it's fair. I just like seeing good fights.
I really misunderstood what was going on today. I thought that everybody was calling in and doing mock drafts. I'm kind of underprepared, but
Yeah, well,
Whatever.
you know how we roll, Tom, man. We just kind of, when we do have plans, they always get shot down. So
yeah. So people are not going to call in and do mock drafts today?
no, I don't have it set up for that.
Okay.
We could do some mock drafts though.
Whatever you want. Like I said, it's your show.
Let's ask the audience. I have the mock draft right here, and he can pull one up if he wants to do his. And I also have the film for Mike Green here, and we can go over our thoughts play by play if we want to do that, whatever they want to do.
Rampage, what is your preference? You got a preference?
I really don't care.
Okay. Tom, you got a preference?
Preference as far as what we're going to do, or preference as far as who we're going to pick?
What we're going to do. Do you want to talk prospects? You want to go over to Mike Green film? Y'all want to discuss your differences with Mike Green?
Doesn't really matter to me.
You want to do mock drafts?
Like I said, I'm open. Doesn't really matter.
Is the chat suggesting anything? One thing over the other?
Let me see.
What do y'all want to do, chat?
Alan Decker's on vacation in the mountains. How about that? Nice, Alan. MH wants to do mocks.
All right.
And Colin wants you to go play Fortnite with the Sabrina Carpenter skin. Hey, I've been playing Warzone lately. I got my setup. I've had my PlayStation down in the den with my big screen TV, but the lag is too much, on TVs. I've got these gamer monitors or Bank gamer monitors, so I brought it all up here. Got my professional custom controller. I'm just going to town, man. I'm addicted to Call of Duty. I have been for a decade.
Yeah, I was going to say the Sabrina Carpenter Fortnite match, that's for members only, and it's after hours. It's going to be a special. So stay tuned. News is coming later.
Sweet.
I guess we'll do a mock draft. It sounds like most people want to do that.
Yeah. Molly wants to see a fight.
Maybe I'll make a public address announcement because I got called out at the last second. I have an 87-year-old buddy that I've met here in this complex that I live in.
Mm-hmm.
And he has no family or anything. He's been in and out of the hospital for 3 weeks now. He has no one to take care of him, no family, no nothing. So just please take care of your elderly. The hospital is releasing him. They've released him 3 times now, and he still has a kidney or bladder infection. These things kill old people all the time, kill our elderly all the time. And just if you have elderly around, just please check on them, please help them. Because, they're not going to be around forever.
Yeah. Yeah, I talk about that with Molly all the time, and how it's one of the things I don't like about American culture is how we treat the elderly. We just kind of sweep them under the rug. Not a big fan of it. There's a lot of wisdom and stuff there. And plus, as a society, it's a good idea to just, treat the elders well.
I mean, I literally just got called out of here like an hour before this podcast and was scrambling to get stuff ready, and he had me do all sorts of things. He's in a lot of pain. I don't know why they send home an 87-year-old man that still has an infection. They just send him home with antibiotics and kind of say, I hope you get better and get with your urologist. And then he tries to call the urologist and they can't see him for 3 or 4 weeks. I bet he'll be back in the hospital in 2 days and I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna be gone up in West Virginia. So just watch out for our elderly. I'm just not real happy with the situation in the hospitals down here.
All right. Well, if you have to peace out during the podcast, go ahead and do it.
I left him in the care of someone else, so
Okay.
there's several of us that watch out for him. So
All right, let's get this mock going.
You guys want to do like each person gets a mock, or do you want to rotate picks? Do you want to do one, Ralph, since you haven't done one yet?
No, y'all go ahead. I'll give my input. I like watching y'all.
All right. I guess I'll go ahead and do one real quick then here.
I want Ralph to do one. I mean, all of a sudden he's an expert, thinks he's Jerry Jones watching tape, and all of a sudden he's an expert. Let's see who he comes up with.
Hey, I got good
He'll
pieces.
probably draft a punter in the first round.
It's a kicker year, man.
I think he doesn't want to reveal his guy yet, so that's
No, I
why he's
don't.
not going to do it.
I know.
Well,
He's trying to make a big surprise.
I try not to take up y'all's time, man. This is y'all only get 40 minutes.
I always forget that we only get 40 minutes.
I know it sucks.
Yeah, we better hurry.
All right, so we're at 19. Wow. How is this guy still here? This is unprecedented. I've never seen him last to this pick,
Wow.
and I'm going to take him because
There you
he's
go.
like a once-in-a-generation running back, and I don't care that we already have a running back. You can rotate him, and chances are Bucky's going to get hurt anyways.
Yeah,
That's my thoughts on it. Usually I trade down there. We'll see who's available. Now we're in round 2. This guy makes a lot of plays on the ball at safety. And then I think since we didn't like Jihad, this guy, very instinctive. Peter Report was talking about him a little bit. And Rondé Barber was talking about him. I think at this point in the draft, he'd be a pretty good pick. I'm going to go ahead and take him, and then we have some linebacker options.
Was that Schlesinger?
Yep.
Okay.
He's not like a super athlete, but he's pretty instinctive and aggressive. He'll make plays in the backfield. I think his tape looks better than Jihad, which isn't saying much. We're in round 3 now, and I like Turner a lot. I think he can push for the 3 technique position and supplant Hall, who is not good.
Texas A&M. You know what? I really wish they would put their jersey numbers on these things because that's what I go by, you know.
I'm going to move down, I think, a little bit here because to go from pick 235, get rid of that and go up to 150, I think is a pretty good value.
Wow, that's a great trade.
So we're at 135. Let's see. This guy right here, I've watched a little bit on him. He is pretty good with power, and I don't know if he can play tackle because I don't know if his speed is great, but I think he could potentially be a really good guard for you and then move to tackle next year. So I'm going to go ahead and take him. How many picks do we have left here? We have 2 picks left. We got a running back, linebacker, defensive tackle, offensive tackle. I like this guy a lot. He's the physical freak out of Arkansas that we were talking about. I'm going to take him and see if he can develop. This draft is very unprecedented for me. It's normally defense. This is basically offense because that running back fell to us in the first round, and that never, ever happens. This is our last pick, and we've taken a linebacker and a defensive tackle.
Why don't you trade down? I saw a good trade off.
See what's there. Yeah, we could get 2 picks there. I'm going to do that. That's actually a good idea. I haven't watched quarterbacks, but it's pretty surprising to me that this guy is this late in the draft. He's projected to be like a 3rd rounder or a 2nd rounder even. I think the Raiders like him a lot. So I'm going to take him, and then we can have a battle for the backup quarterback position or the 3rd string spot. And I don't know if you guys have watched this guy. He's great on tape. He's very undersized, but he's explosive off the ball. He's kind of like a poor man's Aaron Donald. And this late in the draft, with all these guys up here. I like this guy's length at offensive tackle, but we already got one. We got a defensive tackle, but I think you can never have enough pass rushers on the inside. And I'm not crazy about either of our three techniques. I think Cansey needs to take a giant step up and stay healthy. So I'll take him as a backup Cansey plan.
I want to pause you there for a second. That reminds me, yesterday, I was talking about how I like the pressure that our front got last year. That only applied to Vita, Cansey, and Yaya. The backups did not do good pressure wise. So just want to throw that out there. Yes, I agree. I think we need some backup help on the line.
I think this is a completely unrealistic mock draft because there's no way that Ashton Jeanty is falling to pick 19. He is a top 5 or 6 talent in this draft, and he would not get past Dallas. There's all sorts of teams he would not get past. So
is that Tesla in there? I see what.
Yeah, he is the freak wide receiver physically from Arkansas who didn't have absolute great production, but on paper he looks like a great athlete at wide receiver. And I don't think any of our backup receivers have the kind of pure athleticism this guy has. So I'd like to see him in our system develop for a little bit. I think we got a linebacker that can start potentially early on here. This guy could get in there pretty early on. And I think Belton could challenge for a starting guard position right off the bat. And I actually think Jeanty would start as good as Bucky is. I think Jeanty is he's like that Adrian Peterson type of running back who's a generational talent, and he's going to go on the field. So this mock draft, I've done a ton of these. I've never seen him fall to 19. Kind of interesting.
Is there something in the news? Is he falling?
I've never seen him fall like that either. That's just crazy. It's a good draft. I just don't like the fact you don't have any corners.
Yeah, it just kind of the way it fell. I was trying to look at the top guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to be thin there. At least we took care of linebacker and a little bit of front 7. We have some potential.
Right.
And this guy, Quinn Ewers, I know from following the Raiders, they're very high on him. I don't see him getting out of the second round. So I don't know if they just updated their algorithm today on this website, but this and these are not realistic, in my opinion.
Interesting.
I didn't get a chance to look at that wide receiver from Arkansas, but his numbers are great. I mean, he's fast. He's big. He's like 6'4" and
I think he runs
220 pounds but he doesn't have much production. I mean, I didn't understand that. I don't know anything about Arkansas football though.
Yeah, that's the question. I don't know, how good is their quarterback, if that's a factor. But physically, he's pretty much everything you would look for in a receiver.
Yeah, he's a freak.
A guy you would want to take a lottery ticket on late. So
I agree.
That was it for mine. Go back and restart it. And that is not a typical one. Normally, it would be very heavy on defense with maybe an offensive lineman or a receiver later in the draft. No quarterbacks. It's just the way the board fell.
Yeah, that running back really threw you. Now, is there anything in the news about him? I mean, is he dropping in real life? Or
No.
No.
There are actually teams looking to move up and get him. It was rumored all along the Raiders were going to take him at 6. Now it's rumored that now they're saying Liam Cohen apparently loves him at 5. And the Bears are trying to move up and get him, and Dallas would really like to have him.
Wow.
So there's no way he makes it to 19. But
Ralph,
he did here.
Ralph, I know you like Scatterboo, but watch that guy. I mean, he's Scatterboo, but he can fly.
I shall do that.
So I wasn't sure. Tom, did you want me to just leave this up and go with this one, or did you want to?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. So we are at 19, and I'm not sure how big the screen is, but I'm not sure if you can see this. Let me know how you want me to maneuver it.
So what is that? What's that trade option? 25 and
they want to go from 19, and they're going to give us 23 and 87 in return. That's Green Bay.
What are the other options?
Next option is 19 to 21, and then all they're throwing in is a 2026 7th-round pick. Terrible return.
Yeah. Let's go to the middle there, and see if we can get our own trade going.
Okay.
The black button.
Proposed trade.
Yes.
Okay. Who are we trying to trade with?
It says counter.
Oh, we were countering?
Counter. Yeah.
Okay. I've got Green Bay pulled up.
I'm sorry, go ahead and get rid of that.
You don't want to trade with Green Bay?
I do, but just exit out of that. Yeah. So go back to, no, exit out of that again.
Go back to counter.
Yeah, go back to counter.
Okay.
Okay, you can just go ahead.
Did you want to
Go to
accept?
go to trade offer.
How are we going to adjust the offer?
Now go to counter.
Yep.
Now see if they'll go to 54 instead of 87.
Okay. They rejected that one.
No, wait a minute, I wasn't finished. I wanted to go to 54 and offer him our 84. That's okay, just take that trade. That's fine.
Okay. Okay. See, I never counter. I'm not really
Yeah, I
familiar with-
counter all the time, but you're not familiar with it, so don't worry about it.
So now we're down to 23, and we had 23 and 157 for pick 26, and then next year's second for the Rams. And then we have moving down one spot with the Vikings, but all they're going to give us is a 7th rounder next year.
Nah.
You want to veto those
Nah,
trades?
I'm gonna pick. I'm
Okay.
gonna take Starks. I'm gonna take Starks.
Okay.
Did you ever get a chance to watch Starks, Tom?
You know, the guy that I liked, he doesn't have Starks on his list.
Oh, okay.
So I just watched some highlights, which I've now learned, don't really tell you diddly squat, but he looks great. But I thought Campbell looked great in highlights.
I was able to watch Starks last night, so
The same guy?
Malachi Starks, yeah, I was able to watch him last night. I
On
got
I
that
feel like
same
that's
guy?
a teaser.
no, I had his game film downloaded.
What'd you think of him?
I'll talk about it after you guys are done.
That's the guy. All
Good,
right,
I
so
think-
we're in the second round, and we have pick 53 and 157. San Francisco's offering 75 in next year's second.
No.
And then the other offer is 53 and 235 for pick 85 in next year's second.
No.
Okay, so we're going to stick and pick. You love this guy.
The Williams guy?
Yep. I like him a lot
I do
too.
love him.
What pick is that? 30?
This is pick 53.
Yeah, let's take that Williams guy.
Yeah, he's a super athlete. He runs a 4.68 at 334.
And I saw him play an edge even, and the quarterbacks couldn't get around him. So let's take him.
Worst case scenario, he can relieve Vita Vea.
Right.
And
Wait
then-
a minute before you pick him.
Oh, I
I want. Did
already
you pick
got
him?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
So now we're at pick 84. Our trade offers are pick 84 and 235 for Dallas. They're mostly offering us next year's picks.
Yeah, forget that.
And then Cincinnati, it's a next year pick too. Is that one to avoid?
Yeah, I guess.
So
The
here's our,
Dallas one's a joke.
yeah. Here's the board, the remaining player, the top guys.
Yeah, the Cincinnati one's a joke too. So let's just look at linebacker and corner.
Here's the linebackers. Knight's still left. Want to switch to corner yet?
Yes.
And then here's our corners. I think they really like this guy. They've been talking about him a lot, but I haven't watched anything on him. I know nothing about him. Noel Williams.
My TV's a little bit behind you.
Oh, okay.
When's our next pick? 87. Oh, yeah. We'll just take they do like Noel Williams. We'll just take the linebacker now
Okay.
from South Carolina,
Demetrius Knight.
right?
And then Dallas is offering us basically the same trade.
Yeah, forget that.
And we're back on the clock.
I don't know why my TV's lagging so much.
It looks like
So
no, the corner's still left.
yeah, let's take him.
Okay. And we are back on the clock. It's pick 121. We have an offer from Carolina to drop from pick 121 to 140. We would give them 121 and 235 in exchange for 140 and 146. So you would move up from 235 to 146 to move down 19 spots now.
Can I look at the big board?
Yep. Let me go back to all. Here's the top guys.
I think I'm going to take a wide receiver, and I'm going to take that Ty Felton. I really like him. He's fat.
That's good value. I usually take him in most mocks.
Yeah, I like him.
So now we're down to pick 157, and the only trade offer is to go from 157 to 158, and in exchange you trade pick 235 for 199. So you move down one spot, and you basically move up a ton of spots later in the
Right.
draft.
So I think that's a good deal. We'll take that.
Yeah. And we moved down one pick, and they took a tight end that we probably wouldn't have had any interest in anyways. And now we're back on the clock.
I'm probably going to take that Savion Jones, but let's look at the edges.
Here's all of the edges.
Yeah, let's take him.
I think this board is falling really well.
It is falling really well. I thought yours fell really well too, but I like this one even better.
Yeah, Gene T just threw a whole wrench in the thing. That never happens.
Yeah. You still got a lot of talent though.
Yeah.
Go back to the all, please.
Okay. So we're on all, and we're at pick 199. I think this guy, I haven't watched him, but a lot of people like him too. It's another edge player. We just took an edge, but
You know, we haven't taken a safety yet. I like Cam Jackson actually.
the defensive tackle.
Yeah, I like Tonka Hemingway too. JJ
The
Roberts.
Bucs like Tonka. They've had him in for a visit.
Yeah, I've heard him talking about Tonka a lot. Can I look at safeties? It's going to be safety or defensive line.
Here are the safeties. Didn't you like this guy a lot? I thought he was one of your sleepers.
I did like that Maryland guy. Maybe we'll see if he's around. Do I have one more pick?
Let me see.
No, I don't. I traded it.
Yeah, this is the last pick, so you kind of got to take whoever you believe in here.
Yeah. Let's go back to tackle.
Here's the defensive tackles. This guy has a great name, Zeke Biggers.
Zeke.
I'm gonna stay with the Tonka.
Okay. I
think that's a good draft.
Yeah, I guess. So this guy would be a 3 technique. He's rated as a high athlete, 284.
Mhm.
You might need to put on some weight even for a 3 technique, but he would have time to develop. He's a late pick. So.
He doesn't have time to develop. We got to get rid of what's his name?
Logan Hall.
Logan.
Yeah, Logan Hall. We
Get
got to
him
get rid
off
of
the field.
Yeah.
All right, so post-draft, we got Malachi Starks, Tyleek Williams, Demetrius Knight, Noel Williams, Ty Felton, Savion Jones, and Tonka Hemingway. Looks like we really addressed our needs and got great value.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, I think we have needs and I'm kind of a needs guy, and he's kind of a value guy.
Yeah.
So I think we both had good drafts. Just They're way different though.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
y'all
I'll tell you
drafted
what.
exactly how y'all are too. Rampage was
He
going
has
with value, and you were hitting needs.
he has a weapon though in that running back. I'm very jealous.
Yeah,
I would, if we had Ginty, I would like our offensive coordinator to get very creative and run a lot of two-back sets. I want to see misdirection, fake handoffs going to the left, and then Ginty coming back to the right. Misdirection with screens. And Ginty is probably the most, maybe outside of Hunter, could even beat him, the most dynamic offensive weapon in the draft. So to get him at 19 is absolutely insane.
now is he a downhill runner? Is he shifty or
He's
what's
a do-it-all guy. He can run through people. He can break away. And today, to be a first-round pick, especially a top 10 pick at running back, you basically have to be able to do it all. You have to be able to run for power, be a good receiver, block, break away from people, and he's that kind of guy. He may need a little bit of training with the blocking, but pretty much every running back coming out of college does. That's not something that you are going to drop an absolute gem of a running back for.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at some game film on him.
He is
So, Ralph,
unreal.
Did you want to
Give
take
me
a
just a
stab at
second.
one of them here?
No,
Keep
y'all go ahead.
talking for a second. I'm looking up his stats.
I'll pull him up over here. Let's see. So yeah, see on their big board here at this draft buzz, they have Ginty as the second best player in the game and the whole draft, ahead of Abdul Carter.
Wow.
So he drafts to 19.
He runs up. So I got his stats up. He's 5'8", 211. He runs a 4.42 40. Seems like he's even faster than that.
Yeah.
And then wait till you hear these stats. He rushed for 2,601 yards last year,
Wow.
29 touchdowns, 23 receptions.
Dang.
I mean, when he gets in the open field, he's gone.
Boise State, huh?
Yeah. He's a
Here's
weapon. I mean,
Here's another thing that's crazy about this draft buzz. So up here, they grade the players. You look down here at pass blocking. They rate him a 48. Terrible, right?
Right.
Look down here at his strengths. It says advanced pass protection skills, diagnoses blitzes quickly and anchors against larger defenders. Make that make sense. Is 48 like a great score for a running back?
Yeah, or are they just hedging their bets?
I'm wondering if they have different people write different sections of this because it doesn't add up a lot of the time. They give you a lot of good information really quickly, but it doesn't add up all the time. Still, to get him at 19.
my favorite is he has this is really important for him. He has a 56% run blocking grade. That's what I want. I want a running back that has a great run blocking grade.
Right. Yeah, I want him run blocking for somebody else.
for Otten.
With this team, it would actually make sense because we have Bucky, but most teams, if you draft him, he's going to be a top 10 pick. He's not run blocking for anyone else.
Right.
So, where did we want to go from here? Does the chat have any questions, or do we want to run another one and see if Ginty falls to me again, or see how that plays out differently this time? How much time do we have left? We have 9 minutes.
9 minutes. Yep. Ilmich is saying he liked the boards. Thought y'all did a good job. Who is 5 Ilm?
We can go back and forth.
Yeah, why don't y'all do that?
Yeah, that would be interesting. You want the first pick, or you want me to take the first pick, decide what to do there?
It doesn't matter.
All right, so I'll get it started here. We'll see if he falls to 19 again. That would be insane. They're offering me 24
Hey,
next
Chad.
year. Third, I don't want that.
Hey, Chad, hold on just a second. Hey, Chad, don't you see how lovely we are and we just get along together and it's like kumbaya and, you can go first or you can go first. We've been on a chat for 4 hours arguing over the Ohio State game.
Oh, it's
And,
lit. It's a warpath in there.
I know. I was fully expecting y'all to get on here
it
and
was
throw
just
some
like,
heat.
screw you, he sucks, he's great.
There was some.
You don't understand how to. You don't understand. You don't understand.
It's called a war room for a reason,
It's kind
right?
of
Hey,
funny.
Britt, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of funny.
It's not the kumbaya room.
yeah. I was gonna
Imagine
have
if
the
we
thumbnail
actually
be
had-
y'all fighting.
Yeah. Imagine if we actually were in there.
I mean-
like we're just doing it for fun.
Ralph,
Right.
No
if you want to
stakes.
show it, that would probably. If you want to show it, that would probably be really funny for the chat to see, and I don't mind.
I think so we only have 7 minutes. I guess we'll try to get through this, and then Green might be a non-factor. If we don't take him, who really cares about people's opinions on him at that point?
Right.
We move on to whoever we take and just evaluate them. And at that point,
Right.
we'll all be looking at it together. So we can get into it right then and there at that point.
Hold on, did Sanders fall in this one? That's what it looks like.
Yeah, sure did.
Did who fall?
Sanders.
You have the craziest drafts, man.
Yeah.
Rampage. Come on, man.
And I'm normally a guy that if a quarterback falls to you and you have any question whatsoever, like you don't have a young Peyton Manning or a Tom Brady, I might be interested. Like with Baker, how much longer do we have him? Like a year or two?
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to pay him more money. And it's like, do you want to get the rookie contract leverage where you have a guy you're paying next to nothing and then you can build a super team around it? If you believe in Sanders, that's something you have to consider, like when Aaron Rodgers fell.
Yeah.
I don't think he's as good as a prospect as Aaron Rodgers, so I'm not going to do that. And I actually just looking at this.
Let's
Go
be
ahead.
honest. If this fell to us, we would trade.
Probably, yeah, because you'd
We
probably
would be looking for a team with a quarterback, and we would trade, and we would use it to our advantage.
That would
the
make
Browns
sense.
would be looking to move up or something like that.
Yeah,
The Giants.
I think the issues with taking him would be how would Baker Mayfield take that? You know, it might be a little.
Oh, I wouldn't take him. I mean, there's
Yeah.
questions about it anyway, and
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about any quarterback in this draft.
You know, I feel that same way.
It is a weak draft for quarterbacks.
Mm.
So this is interesting, 19 to 22, and then move up from 84 to 55. And then this one, if this was real life, I actually would heavily consider this. You would lose the 5th-year option because you're going into the second round. But New York, I think they're going to be picking very high next year. That could be a top 5 pick. So you move down this year, but then you may get a top 10 pick next year.
Wow.
And if they get the first pick and you have next year's first, Arch Manning might be in that draft.
Oh.
Like a generational quarterback prospect, that would be pretty sweet.
Interesting.
I'm going to go ahead and move down a little bit here and get some more picks for later. I don't think I want to move down again, though, especially since they're just offering me future picks that I'm not going to be able to utilize because this is fantasy land.
All right.
So now we're down at 22.
There's Campbell.
The needs scream Campbell, but I think we're all turned off on him.
Yeah.
So really, it's either are you going to take a guard, and I love these guards, but I can't bring myself to go guard in the first round, and I really like James Pierce. So I am an edge guy. I'm going to take the edge with the elite twitch pass rushing ability, and we'll see if our defense can get some sacks this year. So now we're up to Tom's pick. We're at pick 53. We got some trade offers.
My TV's lagging. I don't have the trade offers.
Okay, so they're
I see
offering.
them now.
Okay, let me know what you want me to do.
So 57, 67. Okay, see the next one. I see Cleveland's. I see LA's. Go back to Cleveland. And let's counter. Let's go ahead and counter.
Yeah,
And
I'm on it.
let's
I think
see
it's catching up.
Let's see if they'll give us what are they off? What's their second pick there? My eyes aren't great.
It is next year's third.
No, I don't want that. I want what's below. Looks like it's 85.
85? Okay, I'll propose that.
Let's
to
see if
him.
they'll give us 85 for wait a minute. For 53 and 157.
So get rid of 67.
No, keep those. Go to our
Okay.
trade. We're offering 53
Oh,
and
we're putting
157.
157. Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
See if they'll take that.
So they rejected that one.
Okay. Well, who'd you pick in the first round?
I got the edge player out of Tennessee.
Oh, that's right. Let's just look and see who's available.
Okay. Here's the best available.
Now look at the corners. I see Morrison down there.
Yeah, he's still there. And then Darian Porter, the tall, lengthy guy that they like.
So, you're part of this draft too. What do you like better? You like taking a corner? You like taking Schlesinger, the linebacker?
I probably like the corner better because I think it's better value, and I think this guy is just a better prospect than that other guy.
Yeah, let's
even
go.
though he's ranked lower.
Go back to the all again, please.
We're back on all.
Yeah.
But then again, linebacker's thin, and you may think
I've
there's a
seen-
huge drop off.
I've seen some people think that Dart was going above Sanders. I'll just go with the tall, thin cornerback from Iowa State.
Okay. We have a minute 9 seconds
Oh
left. So
wow,
I'm just
we gotta hurry.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pick.
Just forget about
So the
trades.
linebacker's still there. I'm taking the linebacker at this point. And now we're dropping pretty far. I didn't look at the trades because we have a minute, so I want to try to get through as many picks.
I'll go for the guard, Slater.
Okay. That's who I would have gone with, just looking at it right there.
I would have looked around more, but we don't have time.
Tesla's there. I'm taking Tesla again.
Tesla.
We might be cut off at any second, by the way.
That's Elon Musk's favorite player.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Got about 10 seconds.
Why do I always get cut off? Cam
no.
Jackson. No, Peebles.
We're not gonna make it.
And that's
There it is. Good job, man. Right on time. Woo! I'll tell you, man. Those guys, it's amazing to me at how much information they retain on these players. They do a lot of work. They know if one reason why I'm not doing the mock drafts with them. True, I do want them to have their time because I get time after them. But after the first, maybe second round, I don't know anybody. I'd just be guessing. I mean, I don't know. I like this guy because of his name. So I'm still new to all this, okay? Give me a break. So yes, good stuff, man. Good stuff. I was really expecting those two to go at it. Yeah, they argued today about Mike Green. They both watched film on him, and they both saw two different things. So I was really expecting that to be the main topic of conversation today. But I think they, it's hard to get on camera and argue with people. It really is, especially when there's a delay. And you end up talking over each other and shouting over each other. So I appreciate those guys, man. Great stuff. Tomorrow, big day. Tomorrow's the draft. We're going to do, yes, we're going to try to do the whole group thing. So if you want to come in, dress your best, have your stuff prepped, whatever, come in, get on camera. We're going to try to do a group camera thing. So last night, after I got off chat, I went on a game film watching splurge. I didn't go to bed till 3 a.m. because I ended up watching all the film that I had on these guys. I had Jihad Campbell, of course. I'd already watched him. We discussed that. We'll discuss a little bit more. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We didn't want to turn into a first take or around the horn. uh, I watched Jihad Campbell Saturday, but and I'd watched Donovan Izuriaka Saturday as well. But I rewatched a little bit of him last night. But like I said, I didn't go to bed till 3 a.m. and I stayed up here basically on chat or on my computer after the podcast and just watched film pretty much all night. I watched Jalen Walker. I watched Malachi Starks. I watched Michael Williams, James Pierce Jr., Nick Scorton, Shamar Stewart, and I think that was it. One of my things I was supposed to do today was organize my notes, and I didn't. Look at that mess. It's just a mess. So, very interesting. I want to start off by saying this. Georgia's defense is great, or was great. I don't know if it's the players, who most of them are going into the draft, or if it was the coaches, but I thoroughly enjoyed watching Georgia on film. I'm a defensive guy, and every single one of their players played good. They played hard, and they seemed well coached. They played similar defense to what we do. Everybody did a little of everything else. Everybody played every position. You had guys dropping back in coverage, defensive linemen. You had edges dropping back in coverage. You had cornerbacks blitzing, safeties playing nickel. You had everything in their defense, and they blitzed a lot too. So it was fun watching. And I will say this: there's 3 guys on Georgia who were on this list. It was Jalen Walker, Malachi Starks, and Michael Williams. One of those guys, he's my draft. He's the guy I want. He's the guy I'm hooking, and I'm saying this is him. This is the guy. But again, these are the only guys I watched this year. But I'm getting better. Next year I've got access to game film now from just about every college player. Hopefully that'll continue through the year, and I'm going to be watching these guys throughout the year. So hopefully when draft comes around next year, draft season, and we're talking about this, I'll be able to be a little bit more knowledgeable, and we'll have some game film to break down. So that's exciting. Plus, whoever we pick tomorrow night, we're going to break down their game film. I'm going to get their game film. We're going to break it down. So I'm not going to tell you who my guy is yet. I'm going to go through these guys. Shamar Stewart, number 4. He played Texas A&M, I believe. I didn't write that down. He was the most violent of all of them, but not always. He took some plays off. He wasn't in control. It's one of the things I look at. He's an edge guy. I look at, when you go up against offensive linemen and blockers, who has control in that situation? And he was about 50-50. Sometimes he'd have control, sometimes he wouldn't. But he did win a lot against tackles. The problem was he wouldn't do anything with it after he won. A lot of times he would do kind of strange things, like just fall down by himself. I couldn't really figure it out. I didn't understand what was going on there. But he didn't really make any plays after he won, and he won often enough to where you go, okay, he could play in the NFL. He had a high motor, but like zero finesse. He's just a strong, violent guy, which is nothing wrong with that. But would I take him at 19? No. I wouldn't be mad, not totally mad, if he did this. One thing that I did not like about him was 1:30 in the fourth quarter against, oh my gosh, who was it? I can't remember. They were down. Texas A&M were down, and they needed a stop. and he got into a fight with the offensive tackle like 5 yards away from the play, and the play was still going on, and he was over there fighting with this offensive tackle, not even paying the whole from the snap. He got into it with this guy and didn't even pay attention to what was going on. And this was in the fourth quarter with 1:30 left, and they needed to stop. They were down by like 5. And I was like, I don't like that, you know. Focus on the game, man. Focus on the game. Nick Scorton. Too slow. He's frantic, not in control. Didn't like him. I didn't get his number. I didn't write it down here. Oh, no, he was number 11 with Texas A&M. Yeah. He was just too frantic. He reminded me a little bit of JPP, but didn't have the aggressiveness, I guess is the word. You know, I mean, he was just kind of all over the place and just never seemed to be in control. James Pierce Jr., number 27 from Tennessee. He was probably the fastest and most athletic of all the edge guys I watched. Very fluid. I mean, he looked very good out there, just very, very in control of his body and everything. But I will say he was meh, you know? I mean, it's hard to describe. He just didn't have that oomph, you know? He looked like if you drafted him, you could maybe, you know, get him to get some oomph or something, but very, very fluid and athletic. Would I want him at 19? I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad. Jalen Walker, number 11 with Georgia. I would love to have him, but he's not going to fall to us, man. He's not going to fall to us. I mean, everybody's talking about Abdul Carter as, you know, once a generation edge guy. Jalen Walker, he was quite impressive. But again, like I said, everybody on Georgia was really impressive. I have some more thoughts on that. But if he falls to 11, grab him. I mean, if he falls to 19, grab him. But he's not going to be there at 19. I think somebody was asking that in chat, and I don't think he will fall to us. Jihad Campbell, of course. Rampage got a chance to watch some game film of him, and he had the same thoughts that me and Tom did. Some of these guys, I don't know how they get put up on the board so high, but Campbell, I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. I think I'll be upset if we draft him, you know. Donovan Ezeriaku, number 6, Boston College. Nothing special. He reminded me so much of Tryon. You know, he's got good bend around. You know, he's got the speed, but just never does anything with it. It's just very flashy. Not dominant at all. Not, you know, no strength. It seems like just very finesse. But even when he did win, he didn't do anything, which was very, very Tryon. So I think that is Raku, who a lot of the people are saying we should go after. I think he's just another JTS, man. I really do. That's what I saw from him. Okay, that leaves us with 2 guys, Malachi Starks and Michael Williams. Malachi Starks was great. That guy was fun to watch. He's a safety from Georgia, and he plays lights out. He is all over the field, and you know, he does it. He did everything. You know, I mean, he dropped in the corner. He played linebacker. He did coverage. He did nickel. He was doing everything. But here's the only thing I had to say about him is he's a little too high strung. There was a play that I think I wrote it down. Nope. I didn't. I wish I would have wrote it down. But oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Against Texas. Third quarter, 5 minutes and 42 seconds left. Starks and a cornerback, they lined up in coverage. There's 2 receivers wide, and one of the receivers went like he was going to block the cornerback who was covering the other receiver, right? And Stark saw that, and the other receiver stepped back like he was going to go for a screen, a little bubble screen. And Starks went after the receiver who was stepping back from the bubble screen. And the receiver who was going to block the cornerback took off running, and it was wide open. It was a touchdown, and it wasn't a small touchdown. It was like a 60-yard touchdown. It was a beautiful play. They drew it up perfect. It was executed perfect, but it was predicated on Starks trying to jump the play. It's too aggressive. You'll never hear me say that again in my life. For that particular play, he was too aggressive. And that is the only knock I have on him, which isn't really a knock if you ask me, is he's too aggressive. But is he the guy I want? If he's at 19, I will not be mad if they pick him. Mykel Williams, number 13, Georgia. That guy was great, man. I mean, he was always in control. He took on tackles, double teams. Running backs couldn't block him. Tight ends couldn't block him. He was the most impressive player I watched out of all these guys. Most impressive. Never made mistakes. I want him. I mean, I want him. I watched all these guys, and he's the guy that just popped, man. I was like, oh, this is what we want. If Jalen Walker's there at 19, it's hard to turn him down. But I'm telling you, man, that Mykel Williams is going to be he's going to be special, whoever gets him. And I've seen him go. He's ranked about 24th, but that's a combination of all the drafting places. Some of them have him ranked as high as like 9th. Some of them have him ranked, as the 40th. So he's all over the place. But I'm telling you, man, he's a true one. And that's the guy I want. That's the guy I'm hooking, man. I want Williams, man, number 13. You can't go wrong with anybody on Georgia's defense. I'll tell you that. There was a guy, number 97, Warren Brinson. He played defensive tackle or nose guard, whatever you want to call it. And he just kept popping out at me, and I love it when that happens. I'm not even watching a player, but they keep just popping, like, oh, what happened there? And you go back and you look and you're like, who is this guy and everything? And it kept happening so much that I was like, I got to look this guy up. But number 97, Warren Brinson. And I looked up all the draft profiles of him, and everybody's like, man, he's like 233, 300, way down there. A lot of people are saying he's not even going to be in the draft. Will be a free agent type guy and everything. I was like, I don't know. I wouldn't be. You could draft anybody off that Georgia defense, man. I'll tell you, I will be happy because that was a great defense. I really enjoyed. I ended up watching because I watched the first one I watched was Jalen Walker, and then I watched Malachi Starks, and then I watched Mykel Williams, and then I just started watching the whole defense. I was just like, this is great football. I'm really enjoying this. But Mykel Williams is the guy I want, and I won't be mad if we get anybody off that Georgia defense. Like I said, I don't know if it's the players or the coaches, but that was a great defense, man. They were really good and fun to watch, man. I mean, they made mistakes and stuff, but most of it was due to being too aggressive, which that thrills me to death. So Mykel Williams. That's my guy. That is my guy. What's everybody saying? Watch South Carolina, Michigan, and Ohio State. So Ohio State was on my list. Yeah, I want to watch that one. One of the reasons why I really like Georgia's defense is because it was very similar to what we play. That's why I'm saying anybody on that defense could fit right in with our guys. I mean, because they were very versatile. You like my shirt? Yeah. Walker sucked at coverage. Jalen Walker? I didn't have anything here listed as with the coverage. One of the things with that Warren Brinson, number 97 for Georgia, I didn't really watch him, but he kept making plays or busting through, or just laying out guys. And I was just like, man, this guy's really disruptive. But I didn't watch him, like against the run and stuff. So, I wasn't like focused on him. I'm getting into it, Tom. This is fun. It's like a whole new horizon of football for me. I appreciate you guys. Tom, watching this, they were getting beat, especially deep, big plays and stuff. What I just really liked about them was they didn't stop. Everybody on that defense hustled. And like I said, they played many positions and all over the place. You didn't see anybody slacking off, And that's what I really liked about it. I mean, like I said, it was very similar to what we play, which shocked me. I didn't know colleges were doing that type of defense. I was like, ooh. I mean, it could have been the Buccaneers defense, really. Philly got 3 of them. That's why Philly was so good. Yeah, I couldn't figure that out with Walker either, Tom. Is he an edge guy or is he a middle linebacker? I don't know. I liked him though, as a linebacker, as a middle linebacker. Yeah, I have a hard time having an opinion on guys if I can't watch at least minimum 2 full games. And even then, it might be the 2 bad games they had in this season because everybody has bad games, So I prefer to have as many full games as possible. But you do get a sense of these guys. Fortunately, I was able to watch Georgia's whole season last night because all these guys, I had 3 guys who were, on the list. And once I realized that, I was like, oh, I can watch this guy on these 3 games, these guys on these. And next thing you know, I've watched the whole season. So that was really cool. I got a real good feel for Georgia's defense. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It really is, Tom. I've never done this. Last year we got into it and it was like me dipping my toe into it. This year, I wish I would have been, I put so much stuff off during the regular season that during the off season, I just tried to get everything done and I wasn't able to focus on the draft. So, I mean, y'all know I haven't been online as much. So, plus I've been making babies. That takes time and effort. Yeah. No, I did not. Munden. Yeah, it's a little too much. What's up, Joe? How you doing, brother? You gonna be here for the draft, man? Or are you going to the Bucs draft party? If he was on Georgia, then I ended up watching him by osmosis. Rampage. Let me pull up his number. See, that's how I remember guys. Is the number. I tell you, a Tennessee guy, 27, James Pierce Jr., very, very smooth and just athletic, and full control of his body all the time. He just, just kind of a little meh, wasn't necessarily explosive or strong or, really, getting around guys with some good finesse moves or anything like that. But, you watch him, you're like, he could be dangerous. I wouldn't be mad if we drafted him at 19. So the players that I would go for, that I would not be upset if we drafted at 19, Jalen Walker, if he's there, Malachi Starks, James Pierce Jr., or Mykel Williams. Mykel Williams is my choice of all of them. Jalen Walker would be hard to turn down at inside linebacker now, not edge. But Mykel Williams, he's the one I think that you could plug him in right away, and he's going to be a playmaker. He's not a development player, and every single snap he was giving those tackles a hard time, and he was in control the whole time. I mean, when the running back got near, he shed his block, made the tackle, or got in on it. He set the edge rate. I never saw him make a mistake. I watched 3 games with him. Never saw him make a mistake, and you know how I am with that. That to me, that's a huge, huge thing, and for a college player too. But I really liked how he would engage and then just be in total control, and the tackles would be like fighting with him, and trying to and all this, and he'd just be holding them out with one arm, watching the ball, like it wasn't nothing to him. Very in control. I really liked him. He stood out of all the players that I watched. He really stood out. What was I looking at? Oh, the roster for Georgia. I had that pulled up. I actually saved it because I knew I was going to be talking about it. Now I can't find it. Oh, here it is. Now, Texas A&M, I ended up watching 2 players from there. Their defense I did not like. They had a lot of quit on that team. A lot of quit on that team. They got frustrated with each other. You didn't see that at all with Georgia. Those guys never quit. Okay. Munden. What was his number? Number 2? That doesn't strike a bell. So I did not focus on him. But if he's on that Georgia, is he a white guy? If he's a white guy, he did pique my interest a couple of times. Nazir Stackhouse, number 78. He was pretty good too. I'm telling you, man, that Georgia, I love their defense. I really do. I wouldn't be mad if we drafted anybody off that defense. We're jealous, Joe. We are jealous. You're gonna pick me up some swag, right? You don't have to. I'm just giving you a hard time. I wouldn't be mad if you did. Yeah. Yeah, it's something I've been talking about doing on the channel for many, many years, Tom, is making a video, a highlight and a low light video of a player. Pick somebody like, I don't know, like Logan Hall, and be like, Logan Hall's a beast. And just show highlights of Logan Hall. I can make him look great, And then do another video where, Logan Hall sucks. And do low light videos. And just show how, you can take plays and make a guy look one way or another. It's like how they do with reality television. I remember seeing that a long time ago, back when MTV was doing Road Rules. This was back before what's it called? Reality television really exploded. And they did a special where they showed how they film it. And the producer was talking about how they're like, yeah, we like to take a person and assign them a character, and then we'll edit the film to fit that character. And they showed how they did it. They just took a scene where like these 4 people came into this building and just sat around and talked They went to the couch and talked, and then they went to the kitchen and got something to drink and talked and all that. And then they edited it and showed it later, and they were like, okay, we want this person to look like a jerk. We want this person to look like the good guy and all that. And they showed the after thing, and you were blown away. You were like, wow, that's nothing like what you saw with them just hanging out. You're like, I didn't get that from any of those people. So those reality shows are very, very tricky with that. They just take things out of context and edit it out to make it how they want it to be. They're not real reality. Unless you get somebody like an Omarosa who's just plain out insane. Because I want to do that with what we did last year. We had a lot of guys. Matter of fact, it was on my list of videos to make this off season, is to look at some of those centers we really wanted, and see how they turned out. We had a few guys. Storm Duck, he ended up getting a starting job at Miami. Shocked me. But yeah, I was looking at some of the big guys, the draft guys, looking at their last year's drafts, and then looking at Rookie of the Year candidates from 2024. You're like, it wasn't a whole lot of overlap there. Him and Miles together. I haven't watched Abdul Carter yet. He's on my list. I wanted to get the guys that we could definitely have a chance at. But yeah, that's interesting. He takes plays off. That's something I don't like. I'm not a big fan of it. Now, it happens sometimes, especially with the bigger guys, but I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. Yeah, Joel, that'd be awesome, man. That would be awesome. Yes, especially linemen. Yeah. Like Cody Mock. I know Rampage is not a big fan of Cody Mock, but his improvement from year 1 to year 2 was incredible. He was so bad in his first year. I mean, so bad. But linemen, there's certain positions that I think that it takes a few years for you to get acclimated. Quarterback being one, of course. Cornerback is one too. There's only a few positions that I feel like you can you just start and make an impact. Wide receivers, one of them. Running back, you can. Edge rushers. Defensive guys can, for the most part, the defensive front. Linebackers, usually not. Cornerbacks, I feel like usually takes a few years for them to get their feet under them. Safeties as well. That's why I was so impressed with Winfield Jr., man. I mean, that guy came in day one. He was professional. I was like, whoa. That was so impressive. Go back to watch my film footage of him that first year. I was like, I can't believe how good this guy plays after the first year. But offensive line, definitely, man. It takes years for those guys to get entrenched usually. Get one, physically strong enough, but two, to learn how to work with all the other guys. And it's just so much that the offensive linemen have to do. It's a very complex position. What screenshot is that, Tom? Yeah. Yeah, Winfield's coach's son, like Jalen Walker. Well, his dad played, right? Didn't Winfield Jr.'s dad played, and he was a coach eventually? I think his dad was a wide receiver. I should know this. Should just pop right off the top of my head. Yeah, played for the NFL for 14 seasons with the Buffalo Bills and the Minnesota Vikings. His dad did. When Winfield Jr. was 5 years old, he would practice football footwork drills with his father in the backyard. That's incredible. Yeah, he just came in day one. I've never seen a rookie play at a level like that. Just right off the bat. You're just like, what? They both played at the University of Minnesota. That's cool. Winfield's cool. I haven't looked at his YouTube channel in a while. He made one last year about this time, and it was pretty cool. It was more like I would say a vlog, but he showed around his house and he talked about money and stuff like that. It was cool. I haven't looked at it since the off season, really. Oh, he's a corner for the Vikings. Oh, the screen. I don't know. I might do that tomorrow. We've got a lot of time to fill tomorrow, so I might pop that screenshot up. I'll talk to Rampage and you about it. See, I'll throw the whole conversation up there. But yeah. Then that's another thing too. Two people can watch the film and both see different things, which is to me really solidifies that how Campbell is just not. He's not first round material. Definitely not 19 for us. All three of us saw the same things with him. And to me that's a huge red flag. It's one of those things where I'm like, how do you get up that high? Get promoted like that? Does he have a good manager? Is his father involved in the program? What is it? It's got to be something like that. Either that or there's a skill there that we're not seeing. Maybe he's very coachable. You hear that a lot. Very coachable. Coaches love players that are coachable. Yeah, it'd be a video. I'd have to scroll through it. It's like hours worth of. It's the Luke Gedeke for 2 years ago. Yeah, he was playing guard, man. He was bad. He was bad. But he couldn't adapt to that phone booth playing, Yeah, he was getting whooped at guard. Remember, he was one of those. He got hurt. got replaced, and then when he got healthy, they didn't put him back in. I was like, yeah, his pride was hurt. Is what was going on there. That happens too. It's hard to express yourself correctly through text. I think humans have adapted the ability to understand each other through text yet. Now, this generation growing up will probably be very good at it. But we're so used to being able to read facial features and eyes and body language. You don't get that with text. They say that the best way to tell if somebody is lying is to call them and talk to them on the phone, because we've learned how to lie to people in person by adjusting our facial features and body language and all that, but we haven't learned how to adjust our voice. So when somebody's lying, when you're talking to somebody over the phone, you have to imagine in your head what they're doing. And when they lie to you over the phone, you can almost like see it. So I told that to Molly, and now she won't talk to me over the phone. She knows if I'm like, hey, I got to go upstairs, and then I call her. I'm trying to catch her in a lie. She also, I was telling her how one of the ways you can tell if somebody's lying is if they really expound in detail on the stories, you know, and they'll like over explain things. So now when we talk, she like she won't. If I ask her a question, she'll just be like, "Yeah." She don't want me to think she's lying. Ah. Tom, I don't know if I'd draft him at all, to be honest with you. Bill O'Reilly, we'll just do it live. I had a friend of mine who loved Bill O'Reilly, and I couldn't stand Bill O'Reilly. I still have a hard time watching him, man. He's on that network, America First, America Boy, something. But he's got a show, and yeah. But my friend used to watch him every day, and I was over his house just about every day, so he'd have that on in the background. And I'm just like, oh man, how can you stand this dude? I did not like Bill O'Reilly. We'll do it live. Marpet, Kappa, Gedeke. Marpet was an interesting story, you know. He just didn't really have football in him. He was good at it. But his family, you know, they were all musicians and like poets and stuff, and he was too. He just happened to be really big. So his last year that he played for us, you can watch him. He did not. He just wasn't into it, and he was getting beat. You know, relatively consistently for him. And when he retired, I wasn't shocked. I was like, yeah, he's done. He's just done with football. Which kind of sucked because him and Donovan Smith were best friends. And when he left, Donovan really took a nosedive. Kappa. Is he still at the Bengals? Yeah, yeah. With offensive linemen, that's the best thing to do. I like guys, which you don't get anymore, you know, that they sit behind a guy for a year. They get thrown in every now and then, get some experience. But, you know, man, it's a very complex position, offensive line. Besides quarterback, it's probably the most complex. A lot of responsibility. Every play, you're fighting. You know, you watch wide receivers. That's why I'll get upset sometimes because you'll see wide receivers, you know, they'll go a whole game, they'll do 60 snaps, and 30 of them are running plays, so they don't really do anything. You know, they'll kind of stand in front of the cornerback with their hands out like this, and then, you know, when they are running routes, you know, they're just got to running routes, you know, and every now and then they'll break one off, or, you know, they'll get a pass thrown their way. You know, they'll have five passes thrown their way out of 60 snaps. And then these guys will complain about they want $30 million a year. I'm like, wait a minute. Offensive linemen are busting their butt on every play, struggling, fighting, going up against these big, sweaty 300-pound dudes. You know, they can't trip. They can't make a mistake. And they make chump change. So, yeah, sometimes that does bother me with wide receivers because they really do not do a lot of stuff. You know, they're probably the most don't do stuff the majority of the game players on the field, you know. Bill Maher. Oh, the Bengals cut him? Raiders picked him up. There you go, Rampage. Bill Maher, you talking about the guy that used to have the show Politically Incorrect? I think he's on HBO now. Yeah, he is. If that's the guy you're talking about, yeah, he is so smarmy. He drives me insane. He sits there like his whole show is him insulting his audience and them applauding. You know, he's like, y'all are so dumb. And they're like, it kind of weirds me out. I did not know Kappa got let go by the Bengals. He was with them for a while. You know, that's good, though. That's good. It's good that he went to the Raiders. Is he going to start with the Raiders? Let's see. Let's see where they got him listed right now. That's exciting. I didn't know. The Raiders, man, they're like the Buccaneers of the AFC right now. Devin White's over there. You got Spytek. Jackson Powers Johnson is the Raiders. Yeah, Alex Kappa. Yep, they don't have him listed as a starter. He's behind Dylan Parham, who's played for this will be his third year. So he's probably fighting. He's probably going to get that starting spot, I bet. Interesting. Gosh, he was with Cincinnati for a while. 1, 2, 3, 4 years. Well, 3 years. 3 years. Wait a minute. 22, 23, 24. This would have been the 4th year. I think, if I'm doing my math right there. Brady pulling in all of his old buddies. Yeah, there you go. Bengals cutting for a reason. Yeah, Kate, those guys know their stuff, man. It does amaze me. You know, they'll be doing these mock drafts and stuff. They'll be like, this guy's down 176 on the board, and they're like, oh, yeah, that's so-and-so from where and so, and, you know, he's got this length, and they just pull out all these stats. I'm like, I can't even remember names. Next year's going to be a different story, though. I'm going to be right up there with you guys on those mock drafts. That's why I didn't want to do any mock drafts, though, because I could do the first round, maybe the second round. After that, I don't know anybody except Scatibo, Scatboy. We got to figure out how to say his name. I still don't know how to say Bredeson's name. Bredesen. Like I said, I heard it 2 different ways. I want to hear how he says it. But he'll probably troll us and say it's Broadison. Broadison. There used to be a site that had a breakdown of how to pronounce people's names. Was that Pro Football Reference? Yeah, here it is. Bredesen. Bredesen. So it's bread. Bredesen. What have I been saying? Bredesen? Bredesen? I think I switched back and forth. How do they have Getakee's name? His is Getakee. Getakee, yeah. So they're right there, so I guess it is Bredesen. Skakabo. Yeah, he was fun to watch. You're right, he is slow, but he's jukey, you know. I feel like every time he got the ball, he was like right, kind of like Bucky. You never knew when he was going to pop one off. That's fun. That's exciting I like watching that. I like watching the big bruisers too. But we got Sean Tucker for that. All right, I got to get off here, guys. I got a family to attend to. Tomorrow's a big day. Hopefully we can get everything set up. If not, you're just going to have to watch me and the boys sit here and run our mouths. You won't be able to join in the fun except for in the text chat. Yeah, he does. He reminds me of oh my gosh. That's embarrassing. I can't remember his name. God, the 49ers used to be with the Panthers. Anyhow, he's hard to take down. You know, it would normally take a couple guys to bring him down. One guy just kind of would wrap him up and he'd carry him. got a lot of heart to him. All right, I got to get off here. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Tomorrow's a big day. Hopefully we'll do right at 19. Hopefully we'll get Michael Williams, because I do honestly think he is, whoever gets him in this draft is going to get a guy for a very long time who's going to be a Pro Bowler minimum. So that's who I'm shooting for, Michael Williams. If we go with Campbell, me, Rampage, and Tom are going to switch allegiances to the Raiders. We're going to be upset. Anyhow, guys, I appreciate it. Till next time, go Bucs.